Alright boys, I see the comments. I see the Elite comments. It's been a while since we got the Elite on the channel, and I think it's time we show the Elite a little bit of some love. This Elite is by far probably one of my most clean bikes. This thing hits a different sweet spot. If you haven't seen, since it's been such a long time since we worked on this thing, this is my Honda Elite AF16. We did a disc front end swap on this thing. We got some solid chromey wheels on it. I believe these were called like the race line wheels. Centerline wheels. We got the disc hub up front, drum in the rear obviously, and we got drop down NCY legs. And on this side we got the whole setup, NCY caliper, NCY rotor, you know, all the goods and bits. Only thing really on this scooter is this cracked head set off the corner, but 90% of Elites you find are like that. But we got the clear blinkers. Just a little run through since it's been a while. You know, just really simple and clean setup on this. We got the chromed out OEM rack. We got a clear Japan tail. You know, just some little JDM bits on here. I think we have just like a cheapy clutch. I really don't remember what clutch is in here. It's probably a good idea we change the clutch on this thing soon. If you know, we got a dumb carb in here. We got a little China spec, and I think it's time we change that up. Then on this side, you know, the arrow bit. This thing's just really clean. I love this thing. It really hits a special spot for me. I really wanted to try the SmartCarb on here. If you watched before, we put the SmartCarb on my F12. This being a horizontal Minarelli, most of my Minarellis max like a 21 mil carb, sometimes a 19 on some of the pre-bugs. But I think this one has a 19 on it right now as well. We tried the 26 mil carb on the F12. It liked it, but it wasn't too crazy, and it actually likes the 19 a lot more. But this thing has a 26 mil on it. This is the 26 mil SmartCarb, and I actually got this SmartCarb from Brandon, and he had it on his Elite, and he said it killed it. The Elite absolutely loved this thing, so here we are trying this thing out today. With that being said, we're gonna swap out the dumb carb for a SmartCarb. Now I gotta say one thing before we start this, because I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but every time I post a video riding a scooter, any type of riding or wheelies or anything like that, YouTube has been just restricting my channel. So it's absolutely destroying the work we put into the videos, and it's an absolute pain in the ass. I don't even know if I'm able to even ride this scooter in this video. I'm gonna try, but definitely not doing wheelies. YouTube, this is all trained professional, supervised by local authorities. This is we're safe here. We're safe. Helmets on. We're doing all the right things. Don't restrict my videos, YouTube. And I don't know how to fix this issue. Whether that's gonna be on a different platform or we're gonna have to do something like Patreon or something, I don't know. But as of right now, it's putting a strong hold on a lot of the videos. If you noticed, I haven't uploaded the last ferry to ferry video on the big riding day. Every time I upload it, YouTube restricts it, and it's not good to have restricted videos on your channel because it can add strikes to your channel, and eventually your channel can be deleted by YouTube. So I need your guys' support. So if you want to support the channel, make sure you guys check out the description down below, because it's the only thing that's really supporting the channel. I'm gonna fire it up, and then we'll put the riding clips at the end showing it before and after with the SmartCarb and the dumb carb. This thing hasn't been started in a long time. The gas in it is probably bad, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's probably been sitting over a year. I don't know when the last video I uploaded on this thing was. There's no way that thing just fired up first kick though. Holy crap. That aero pipe, man. I wish these things weren't so common and snapping. I just snapped Danny's. Good old Elite, man. Not gonna lie, when I went out to Danny's and was riding all the Elites, it did re-spark a little bit of love for the Elites that I have. More than a built Elite, I love the stock Elites. Elites are so good stock, and they're such a fun little wheelie bike. Now I don't need to do this, but I don't want to deal with like tight spaces, and I want to check out this fuel line. I don't think the fuel line is gonna be big enough or long enough. So I'm gonna pull all the panels off, just to make it a little bit easier on my life. And plus, this throttle cable's tucked up underneath here. And if I remember right, when we did the SmartCarb on the F12, we had to change the throttle cable a lot to get more length out of it for the long slide on the F12. But This one's actually a 28. Damn, I thought we had a 26 on here. 28's a pretty big carb for this little engine. That's pretty crazy, but yeah, there she is in all her glory. Dumb carb, and we're gonna pull her on out now. Pretty sure this filter diameter is way too big to run on the SmartCarb as well. Might have to ditch that. Ooh. Dude, the SmartCarb barely clears on the case. That is gnarly. Alright, SmartCarb is in the bike now. I ran out of gas yesterday when I got it running, so got some gas today. Filled her up with gas, and this thing fired right up, no choke on or anything. So the only adjustment you have is this top adjustment right here, and this pretty much only adjusts your pilot jet. So main jet is technically self-readable, and then you have your idle screw right here. You only have one inlet, which is your fuel line. There's no intake inlet on here or multiple drain lines. There's only the one drain.
It uses the design invented by a chap called William Edmonston. It's kind of the same concept as used by Electron carbs, but with SmartCarb's own unique improvements. Instead of a needle, the carb has a metering rod, which is flat on the side that faces the engine and curved on the intake side. So as air rushes past the metering rod, there is an area of low pressure created on the flat side of the rod that ultimately pulls fuel up from the float bowl. This is also how it compensates for altitude changes, because obviously the higher the altitude, the less air there is. Therefore, there's a weaker signal on the metering rod, bringing up less fuel from the float bowl, creating the perfect mixture. And since fuel can rise so high up the metering rod thanks to this effect, it increases atomization of the fuel, meaning it burns cleaner, makes more power, all while being more economical.
And it sounds pretty crispy. They put a filter on it still, but sounds pretty happy. We're about to go give it an actual ride now though. I think it's running a little rich, it sounds like. We'll see once we get it riding and see what the temps are looking like, but I'm curious to see what this thing does in the top end. Beautiful weather today, boys. We're hitting that good time of year now where it's cooling down. We need to get a speedometer on this thing now. Forgot this thing's not even working because of the disc front end. So we're not gonna be able to tell by speed. It feels pretty damn good though. Sounds like it wants more fuel though, because that 75% throttle. When you give it full throttle, it just it has that like that lean gasp to it. That's where that SmartCarb might really come in handy right now. Yeah, she sounds like she wants a lot more fuel in the top end. Curious to see the temps, but this thing's pulling pretty hard, dude. Well, now at least the 75% throttle and the full throttle aren't the same like they were. Definitely pulls all the way through. Oh, it pulls hard, dude. Dude, this thing's ripping. Still haven't cracked 300 on the temp. There we go, 280. Running a little richer than I'd like, but we really haven't rode it that much yet. But the bottom end's for sure running rich, so. We're gonna go a couple clicks out. 1. Oh, dude. Thing sounds so good. I kind of want to try a PG on this bike again though, I'm not gonna lie. I did like the PG pipe a lot, dude. There we go, we're hitting better temps now. I like to be at like 320 when you're riding for a minute, 340-ish max, most likely 320, and then cool right back down to like right below 300 when you let back off. So right now just cool back down to 295. This is like perfect area where I like mine bikes. Ooh, it's crisp, dude. Thing sounds like a little like KTM 65 or something, dude. With the aero pipe. That's the thing, is I love the way the aero pipe sounds though. Dude, that mid pull is good. Dude, she just starts going, dude. The consistent pull is where I see the biggest difference. Like, my other car would hit hard, but it would only hit hard in like the 15 to 25 mile per hour range. I think a lot of it's because it adjusts like that. So once it's sucking in more air, it kind of can adjust itself a little bit more. So you just get that consistency, dude. Like the motor just sounds happier. One day we got to get a hold of like a real dyno, and we could see like graphs on the differences in these parts we're putting on. If I can feel improvement in something just riding it and feel the difference myself, I'm pretty satisfied with that usually. But
so we have a 114 in here now. We got 8 with a 116, so.
I would be curious, we might have to put that S23 big pipe on this thing again, man. I feel like it might like that thing now. It just feels like it wants to pull forever. Like the gearing in this bike's pretty high too, and it just feels like it keeps going. My Zumas, I keep stock gearing, and they're definitely wheelie bikes. And when you're holding it wide open like that for a while, your gearing is out of gearing, and you start kind of feeling bad for your motor. This thing, it feels like I can keep full pin for like 3 miles and not even have to worry about it. Just feels like the gearing is just loves how the motor just carries the power through it. It just feels consistent. It doesn't hit like that dull point where you're just fully pinned. All right, SmartCarb ran absolutely amazing. I'm super happy with how it felt. It kept it opened up like the power band of the bike drastically. Like I can really feel the difference on just how it's pulling, and it's so crisp. I'm super satisfied with the SmartCarb on the Elite. The climb would literally look like this. Like it would just yank, and now it's just like this. it just feels like it pulls all the way, like forever, and it just feels super healthy. I'm stoked on it. A couple things I really want to do to the Elite now after just doing this is I want to mess with the clutch some more. I need to order a different clutch bell for sure. This clutch bell was like some cheapy one that has been used on like 3 different bikes from homies. And I want to put a new Contra in there too, so I'm going to order a Contra, and I think I could definitely stiffen up the clutch springs in it as well. So next time on this bike we'll be doing a lot of CVT tuning, as this time it was pretty much all carb related. So I'm stoked to get the Elite back on the channel. I also kind of want to add a better shock in here because this shock is just really soft on it, and it would be nice to have a little bit stiffer in the rear of this thing because it's pretty damn bouncy when I'm riding it right now. This Elite is just so clean, bro. I love this thing so much, and yeah, next time we'll get some more work on it, but for now, slap all these panels back on and let's see how she's looking.